Good Saturday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. I am glad that you are joining tonight, and I appreciate you being along for the ride as we are wrapping up 8 weeks now of broadcasting. Quarantine is what it is, but we've, I believe, hopefully found a way to get together and talk about some of the things that are even more important, and that is our community. And we have a great community. Bryan County is a great place to be. It's a great place to live, and I really appreciate all of the people that are here. And you know what? We get to visit again tonight with somebody very special. And I appreciate Stephanie and Buddy Swicker. And we get to visit with Stephanie tonight. So you're going to be blessed by that. And I'm thankful that you're on, Stephanie. You do you, we. Spelled just like it sounds. UWE. Talk about your store really quickly. Where can we find you? And let's just get started there. You're in downtown Durant.
Downtown Durant. I love it. So we are on 2nd Street. Everybody knows Opera House Coffee. We are right around the corner from them. So grab your cup of coffee, then pop around the corner and we'll visit.
All right. So that's my opportunity right there. Opera House Coffee. We gave away a $20 gift card last night. We're going to do that again next week. So anyway, yes, that's a big part of it. Well, I've been in there a number of times, and I remember when you all first opened, it wasn't really even that. It seems like a long time now. Quarantine's made it seem like a long time, but it really wasn't that long ago. You guys have a fantastic store with so many unique gifts. Talk about some of the things then that you all do and you make there too.
So every wood product in there we make ourselves. We have a wood shop here at our house, and so we build the boxes. We have a CNC and a laser machine, which makes it super custom. It's what our name is about. It's you and we gifts. So it's your ideas, and we kind of just try to help bring them to life. And we haven't been there very long. I think we're going on 3 years, 4 years maybe, which I feel like is still new for a business. And I feel like it's been a child, and we're kind of figuring out who we are and what kind of company we want to be. So we've grown a lot, I feel like, in the few years that we've been there.
Well, listen, I will tell you, and you are there day to day, and you see the growth. I've been impressed with what you all do since day one, and so I really appreciate it. And since you mentioned that, let me not let the earphone fall out. But you talked about the wood first, so I want to go ahead and bring this one out here. This is something that I got for Mrs. Patriot, the lovely Mrs. Patriot, for her birthday, I believe, 2 years ago. And this is really cool. I mean, this is and you made it. You did that right there. So that is so
We did that.
cool. So that's a testament, by the way. I always like you to testament that, hey, listen, I was there. I'm not just making this up. Shout out, by the way, to Zim and to Elizabeth, as well as Buddy watching tonight, Kenny Gardner as well. Thank you all for all the folks stopping by. Please continue watching. We're visiting with Stephanie Swicker tonight. Now, it's not just you that make the things that are there, although you do make a lot of the things that are there, but you give opportunities for other people to make things in-house as well, don't you?
Yeah. Are you talking about some of our products that we carry,
Oh
or
my
the fact
goodness,
that
yes. They have the chance to, yeah, they can walk in and be a part of some of the things, the activities.
Yeah, so we're coining, or I'm liking the name Creative Studio, our making area back there. And I started doing candles. So Buddy and I kind of are developing this company, and he has pursued some other things, and so now I'm making it my baby. And I love candles. I had a friend who was like, "Hey, you should make those yourself instead of ordering them for other people." And so I did. But I noticed there wasn't anyone there to show me how to do it. So I just could only YouTube. Like, there wasn't um, no other in-person resource. Kind of saw it as a need. There's a lot of people that like to do those crafts and kind of create their own, which is also in harmony with what our business is about, that it's a collaboration between the two of us. And so we decided to open it up and make it where people could just come in and make their own fragrance, make their own candle, and to learn about the process and the waxes. And I mean, we'll answer whatever questions I can answer. I'm happy to do it.
Stephanie, by the way, I found that's a great way to learn things anymore is just by YouTube, and my IT person who keeps me online so often will tell me if I have a problem and I call him, and it's my brother, so I don't mind throwing him under the bus here with this statement. But he said, "Have you checked this out on YouTube? Have you Googled it? Have you looked
Oh,
to see if,
yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll go that way first. But it's really neat that you do those things, and the fragrances, the bath salts. Okay, maybe not something that I may not do a bath bomb, but I might get another one for the lovely Mrs. Patriot. But you got so many things that you could do, and you've even kind of gone into the area with plants too, because I saw at the Chamber of Commerce meeting a couple of weeks ago, the Zoom meeting, because we're all doing Zoom meetings now, and you had this incredibly cool box with a plant in it. That's something you have going right now, right?
Yes, I love it. I look forward to coming home and messing around in our shop and creating these arrangements there. And they're good for your soul. My goodness. And you can put them on your desk at work and it just makes you happy, or in your home. And so of course we want to spread that around. And that's something that my whole purpose of even getting those in the store is that I want to incorporate it into our making area where people can come in and create their own arrangements, their terrariums or fairy gardens. I think kids would have a ball doing that. And we would have the plants and the containers. We also do it where you can bring your container from home. So if there's something that you love that you want to have a use out of it, we can find a way to fill it up.
That's cool. Now you have activities then. You have activities for individuals, but you have activities for groups as well. And people can schedule times, right, to come in and do things with you, not only as a group, maybe even as a couple.
Yeah, we've had date nights. People have had date nights and come in, and we always have complimentary wine, so that makes it a little more fun for the adults. And we've had a group of girlfriends. We've had different clubs that have decided to do that as an activity together, and they have a lot of fun. My goodness, bridal showers. They've come to do that together and create candles. And even kids, families. We've had whole families, the grandparents, mom and dad, the kiddos sit down and make loads of candles together.
I hadn't even thought about that as a bridal thing. That would be
Mhm.
really neat to be able to, not just get things and bring them into or take them into the wedding, bring them into the wedding that you made yourself and look back on that. That's a really neat idea. You mentioned the kids too, and I know you all have a couple of kids. Kids all I always perk up when you talk about kids. I mean, I have 5 of my own, 2 grandkids now. I think that children are just such a blessing anyway, but you have some cool things for the kids to do there.
Yes, yeah. Well, I started a kids club because I homeschool my kiddos. We do the Epic Charter School, and you can become a vendor, or the school will pay to broaden their education. So, like my girls do horse riding lessons with Danny Looper. She's an Epic charter school vendor, and so the school will pay for my children to go learn how to ride horses and to have this interaction because it broadens their perspective. They do the same thing at Axis Dance. I think the gymnastics right next to us,
Mhm.
Unstoppable, they're an epic vendor. And so I thought, hey, this is an opportunity to give kids a place to be creative and have fun and to learn things. So we've done slime classes there where they've come and made different slimes. We've done a Look What I Made board, and we had clothespins and they created these little characters. Then they can take it, put it up on their wall at home, and then put their little projects that they do to switch out. So it's just a fun thing for them to do. And of course, you don't have to be a homeschool kid. Any kid is welcome to come. We have those available. And it's the same concept. If you have a group of little ones that are wanting to do something fun together, you can call and let me know, and I'll arrange the schedule to meet whatever the needs are.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I love that idea, and, I've worked in many areas of school, public school, private school. Homeschool, I haven't worked with as often, and I know that there are, that's a different animal, but I love the opportunities that you are presenting for them. I think that's incredibly cool. We're here on BCP Live on this Saturday night. We're getting to visit with Stephanie Swicker now, who is, the owner and runs UE Gifts in downtown Durant. And Stephanie, we've been talking about downtown Durant and all of the businesses in Bryan County through this entire situation in which we're dealing right now. I'm navigating, Chris. If you're watching tonight, I haven't gotten kicked off of anything just yet. Give me time. But we in all of this talking about the businesses, and we want all of the businesses to succeed. We want all of the businesses to come out of it on the other side. And getting to visit with folks who, especially I think in the downtown Durant area, it's just such a neat place. You get to see folks down there all the time. How cool is it to get to work down there?
I love it. I There is not another place that I would want to be with our business. It is it feels like such a unique community that we're part of. It's like a little family down there. We all know each other. We all support each other. You can feel that everybody wants you to succeed down there. From Chamber of Commerce to people like you who are supporting us and giving us love, and from customers coming in and saying, "Oh, I love that you're here. Keep it up. Don't give up. We want you." They want you to succeed.
Right. And that, that's that again, it goes back to the people. It always goes back to the people in situations like that. And there are great people in Bryan County, and I just can't speak highly enough of all the great folks that are here and do so many wonderful things. But you mentioned too, and I'm trying to recall when exactly it was, but I in the Zoom meetings, and I know that you're part of the chamber and see those there, but just helping one another out. And I think that you know your business complements some of the other businesses so well. You go get a cup of coffee, over at Opera House, then stop by just right around the corner and check out some of the things. Bring that cup of coffee in and take part in some of the activities you have. I think that you guys offer a lot to the area.
Thank you. We want to help. I mean, I think everybody kind of has the same harmonious goal for Durant. It seems like to be a destination area, and it has such potential for that to happen with the college that we have, with the lake that we have, with the casino and all the shows that they bring in, the entertainment. I mean, people go out of their way to come and visit Durant, and having a downtown that's unique, and like Opera House Coffee that offers this great cup. We have Trippy Hippie right next to us, which is such a unique and cool place to hang out. My goodness, to Modern Tot, if you cross over Main Street, you have some awesome places. Even still on Second, we have Third Street that's full of great places like Ice House. It's just, you can really spend all day long just kind of moseying around the the corners.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. By the way, I want to give a shout out to lots of folks that have stopped by tonight. John, thanks for stopping by, and Jamie and Brent and Brian made it in. Jamie made it in from fishing. Hey, listen, it was a wonderful day to go fishing today. So that you made it in and stopped by here as well. You and Robert, thank you very much. And Donnie Levi, just 10 minutes late tonight. That may be a record. So thank you, Dottie, for stopping by. We're visiting with Stephanie Swicker tonight as she owns and runs UE Gifts downtown. And Stephanie, before I go to the other point, I think it's a really neat thing that you said just then. When and just to give an example, when we go to other places, we try to visiting other towns outside of the local Bryan County area. Let's just call it that. And locally here in Durant, when I stop by one of the businesses, usually I want to park pretty close to that business. That's just part of it. I've grown up that way, been a part of the town and the county for now 3 decades plus. But when I go to other cities, we travel to Missouri. Mrs. Patriot's from Missouri, and we travel Missouri if you're from there. Anyway, we travel to Missouri pretty regularly, and we go up there. And some of the places are up there. We'll park over here, and it doesn't bother us to walk 8 blocks to get somewhere. But in Durant, if I have to walk 8 blocks from where I'm going just to park, I don't know that I would do that or not. And I think that with all of the businesses now that have been coming in, and I'm leading into something, sorry if I don't mean to ramble, but with all of the businesses coming in now that are doing all of these different things, it's not bad and it's not unheard of to do just what you said. Park over here on 4th Street, park somewhere on Main Street and wind up walking to where you are, there at just past the corner of Second and Evergreen, that we can walk around to a lot of places and just make a day of it.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. I think we go to Tulsa. We have friends in Tulsa, and so we frequent that area. And the downtown, you can explore and find just the absolute coolest stuff. That place, I think of McKinney and how fun it is. You purposely want to park far away so that you can go down all these little alleys and find these stores and the art on the wall. And Durant, my goodness, we have Art Alley. We have things like that here. That is, if you have not been downtown to just spend a day or spend an afternoon, you are so missing out. There's so much that downtown offers.
And as we come out of this on the other side, not just the businesses, but the events that are going with the businesses as well. And it really is turning into, as you said, a destination place. Well, one other thing I wanted to bring up for you and also for Buddy as well. You guys are going to be participating in the Dancing with the Stars, and
Yeah.
that's close to home for me. That Mrs. Patriot actually choreographed a winning dance a few years back. So props to Jody for doing that. But you guys are going to be participating as well. Now, I have a story on this, and I will just tell you, by the way, it's going to be on BryanCountyPatriot.com. I shelved the story because of all the situation that we're dealing with, and I really want to promote in a time where we can get out and support everyone. So just giving you a little bit of a teaser there. Buddy and Stephanie are going to be dancing as well. So does this give you a little extra time to practice now?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was calling up the choreographer and it's like, I know that we have plenty of time until it's here, more time than we had initially. But I'm kind of like, I'm ready to get started because I'm nervous. I'm not a dancer. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. I need the extra time.
This is going to work out good, I'm sure, for a lot of teams
Yeah, this is
along the way.
it's great because this is the 10th anniversary. So because all of us dancers have extra time to work on our bit or our dance or whatever, hopefully it's going to be very entertaining and very worthwhile to come out and celebrate the 10 years.
All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put this one up here really quickly. Stephanie, I don't know if you can see this or not. Brent Gordon says, "Hey, look, she's my neighbor. She's got to come by and see the store," and that's what neighbors do, and that's what people I believe in this community do as well. Stop by and see each other's stores and each other's businesses and all this that is going on. So yeah, you have people that know you're there, and more people that know you're there too. So I wish. I say I wish. Mother's Day's tomorrow. Mother's Day is in less than 3 hours in the Central Time Zone, so it's a little late to go by your store for Mother's Day. But
A little bit. Yeah.
just a tad. But you guys, I mean, there's so many other, anniversaries, birthdays, different things like that. But just to invite the people to come.
Yeah, no, come. It's a custom place. So we have teacher appreciation. You have an employee you want to say something about. You've got a best friend. Even I'll tell you, is it's great. Like people that have lived here, this is their hometown, and they move off. They'll call and they'll want like some sort of little emblem, of Oklahoma with Durant Heart or something, just to remember this place. So it's really our whole story. It's a collaboration. It's your idea. Your imagination is your limit as to far as what kind of gifts we could come up with, we can help you make.
Well, that is incredibly cool. They can find you online too, as well. Does that look familiar?
Yep. That's
All right.
us.
uwegifts.com. UWE gifts.com. And what we learn becomes a part of who we are. I think this is incredibly cool. So you can see these opportunities and a whole lot more. So anyway, Stephanie, thank you so much for taking time to stop by with me tonight on BCP Live. I appreciate what you guys do. And man, it's just an honor to have you on the show.
Well, I feel absolutely the same way. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and I am honored that you would ask. That's awesome.
Well, God bless you and Buddy, and I hope we get an opportunity to visit with Buddy as well too. By the way, Buddy works with not only does he work with you, he also works with Cherokee Communications, and Cherokee Communications is an advertiser on the Bryan County Patriot. So just an additional shout out there. But Buddy is a great guy, and he is one of those folks that will always make you smile. So,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. He will make you smile. So you'll definitely be blessed to get to meet both these folks. If you have not had a chance yet, Buddy and Stephanie Swicker, and UE Gifts is located just north of the intersection of 2nd and Evergreen, just north of Opera House Coffee. Stephanie, thanks a lot. God bless you, and I appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Of course, Stephanie Swicker, UE Gifts. What a great person. I appreciate them. I know that they had come to Durant a little more than a couple of years ago from up in the Tulsa area, and just really appreciated getting to know them and Buddy, I see him at the chamber meetings and have been seeing him at the Durant Chamber of Commerce meetings for a while. And I'm not making this up. I mean, he will definitely put a smile on your face. I think, let me, I lost my headphones. We'll just get rid of the headphones there since that's the only guest of the night. I wanted to show this again. If you couldn't see it earlier, see, there we go. This is really pretty cool. And it's, so you can hang it or you can set it up, has a good base there. And that was a really cool gift for Mrs. Patriot a while back. So let me get to some of the comments here really quickly. Stacy, thanks for joining tonight. Greg, man, I appreciate you stopping by tonight. Love to get to visit with you sometime too. Lots of other folks on. Jamie, Paula, Brent, and we did see Brent's comment a little earlier. Dottie, I know that you're here. How cool is that? Brooke, John, thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate that. Jamie, all right, now let's pull this comment up here. Jamie says, I wish we had table and chairs outside in the downtown area at random places to drink coffee or just husband benches. Now, let me tell you something. Husband benches are cool. Just have to throw that one out there. Husband benches are incredibly cool. So, yes, I think that would be a good thing as well. And I know there are some benches, but I don't think it would hurt to have more. I think that would be all right too. So, all right. Dottie, probably a record that you're here this early, but you're always welcome to come and be a part of the show. So that is cool. All right. Elizabeth, is there a local version of Dancing with the Stars? So there is a local version of Dancing with the Stars. Yes, there is. And it's actually a fundraiser. And it is really pretty cool. I think it is a neat event that, as Stephanie was saying, is in its 10th year. And I wasn't making that up. Of course, I like to tease and call her the lovely Mrs. Patriot. My wife, Jody, is a fantastic choreographer. And let me clarify that because it's going to sound like I'm being biased. All right. I'm not kidding. In the last 20 some odd years, of course, we've been married for more than 26 now. We're headed for 27 in October. And I have seen a lot of dance. My number 2 daughter has a degree in musical theater. She's a fantastic award-winning dancer and choreographer. I've seen so much dance in nearly 30 years. And I have to tell you, I know good dance. And by saying that, I also want to add to that, I know bad dance too. Okay? Just throwing that out there. Just, if it sticks, whatever. And Jody does well. She does really well. And she won as a choreographer. Jennifer Rudolph and Dustin Roberts. That was the dance team that won a few years back. So shout out to Jennifer and to Dustin. Yes, Dottie, she is phenomenal. She's absolutely phenomenal. She's a good woman. And she's a great mother. So shout out to Jody for Mother's Day tomorrow. If you haven't already gotten something for the mother or grandmother in your life, and Jody is now both, or wife, just because, then go do that. So, all right. Yes, they're out in the sun, right out there in the sun. The benches are right out there in the sun. Okay, on the corner. If I left Robert on the corner, people would try to go by and give him money. or think he's running for governor too. That's my problem. I'm out shaking people's hands all the time and waving and, saying hi to the babies walking by and, just being friendly to all that. I think children are wonderful. I have 5 children. I have 2 grandchildren now. I think children are such a blessing from God. So I'm very thankful for that. But yes, Dottie, she is, let me go ahead and put that up there. She is phenomenal, talking about Mrs. Patriot. And Mrs. Patriot's had an opportunity to choreograph for Kai, a now Durant High School graduate. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, really quickly then, where are we? Oh, okay. Couple of things then, really quickly. Want to give a shout out to many of our advertisers tonight. Want to give a shout out to Abundant Life Texoma. They're having church tomorrow, and many church organization houses of worship are going on tomorrow. Still social distancing. Folks, we're being wise. We're being wise. It's okay to be wise and not live in fear. Blake Utter Ford, as well as All Seasons Travel, Bryan Agri Products, Taco Casa, Alliance Health in Durant, Gordon Funeral Home. Hey, Brent. Castile's Tire, Friends of the Library, Blackburn Plumbing and Air, Cherokee Communications, Omnicare 365, and Workout Anytime, among our many sponsors for the Bryan County Patriots. Okay, Jamie, this one's for you. So this is going to look like I was stalking your Facebook page, but I knew I had heard something or seen something, and I did trace it back to your Facebook page. So let me see if I can pull this up here. All right, there we go. 9 states in which cows outnumber people. So there you go. I ripped that directly off your Facebook page, Jamie, just throwing that one out there. I know Arnold Bourne gave us the numbers for Oklahoma a couple of nights ago. 4,300,000 cows as opposed to 3,900,000 people. So there's that graphic there. Thought that was a cool one. So Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. I'm not surprised by, I have to admit, I was a little surprised by Oklahoma. I'm not as surprised by Montana at all, Idaho at all, Wyoming maybe, and let's see. Dottie, unfortunately, your little emoji person or your little GIF isn't showing up on the comments. I'm getting it on my Facebook comments on the other page. I'm about to lose that monitor, by the way. I didn't charge it enough. It's my fault. But shout out to Sean, by the way, who stopped by tonight, as well as Ronnie. Thanks for joining in. I was not surprised by Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, maybe. Iowa, I was actually a little bit surprised by. There are lots of folks in Iowa. Des Moines is a pretty big place, and there are lots of folks in Iowa, but there are more cows there? Wow. All right. By the way, since I'm on pictures, let me throw one more picture out. This one came up on Facebook today, just to give a shout out then to all of these people. How about this? This was 8 years ago. I went back to school and I got a second degree in journalism and broadcasting. Jody had been telling me for a while, you need to go ahead and get some more training. We did the research. Just going to bring this up right here. We did the research, and sports journalism, broadcasting, that was one thing, but schools that had, he stopped clapping, schools that had a sports media track. There were only, when we first started looking back in 2008-ish, there were only about 3 schools in the country. Then there got to be 4. Now, one of those was the University of Tennessee. I really wanted to go to Knoxville. I just didn't feel like I could do it. But Oklahoma State had a sports media track. And Oklahoma State, fantastic journalism school. And with respect, by the way, with respect, as Matthew came on the other night and he said, I was brought up as an OU fan and I still love the Sooners, think the Sooners are great, except when they play the Cowboys. But with respect, the OSU School of Journalism is better than the Oklahoma School of Journalism. Just throwing that out there, especially when it comes to sports media. Especially when it comes to sports media. So, just if you can see this, I don't know if you can see my... Okay, there you go. You can see my... So here's the great degree there. Did graduate SUMA. Thank you. And the lovely Mrs. Patriot right there. This is my oldest daughter. That's JC. Her hair's longer now. She pointed that out in the Facebook notice. There's Jen. And this is when they were still, I think, no, they were still in high school then. Actually, JC was in high school. Jenna was an 8th grader. There's a little Jayla. And then there are the twins, Jolie and Joseph. So there you go. All right. Well, enough about that. That is cool, Dottie. Yeah, I love that Jody and I are holding hands. First thing you noticed when you popped up today, that's really pretty cool. So there you go. Regardless of Harvey's 2 cents. That's okay. Harvey can deal. It's okay. Harvey can deal. All right, so there you go. Let's wind up with some numbers and finish the week off. We are right at the half-hour mark, so let's do this because there's promising numbers today. One more promising number, we'll get to that if you hadn't seen. I posted as just a Facebook post, not an actual story on the Bryan County Patriot today. 4,490 positive tests as of today in the state of Oklahoma. As of May 9th, 3,154 have recovered. 3,154 of 4,490 have recovered. That's 90 new recoveries reported today. The United States has now passed the 1,283,000 confirmed cases mark. Oklahoma is 37th in the country, behind D.C. as well, in number of confirmed cases, 32nd in number of deaths. That number has risen to 270, but just 4 more today, or that were reported today. 12 cases have been reported in Bryan County. Here's the number: 7 in Durant, 3 in Meade, 1 in Bennington, 1 in Colbert. 3 now from Durant have recovered. 2 from Meade have recovered. 1 person has passed. That means there are now 6 cases that are active. Just 6 cases, excuse me, that are active. This mic doesn't have a cough button, sorry. Only 6 cases that are active. If you're concerned, you don't have to be symptomatic. Don't call the Bryan County Health Department at 9:32 on a Saturday night. But on Monday, if you're concerned, call the health department and they'll get you taken care of. You just have to make the appointment. You don't have to have symptoms. Anyone can be tested. 12 cases reported in Bryan County through this entire situation. There are now just 6 active cases with 5 recoveries. And so there you go. Durant is in a tie with 8 other cities at 75th most cases in the state of Oklahoma. That's right, 75th most cases in the state of Oklahoma, a state that is 37th in the country in positive cases. We don't, at the moment, and I believe it's going to stay that way, don't have a lot we have a lot of reason to walk in fear. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Elizabeth. I think it is a very pretty family, and I'm thankful that the kids have a lot of their mother's genes. That's always a good thing. One other thing, numbers-wise, as of today, 822 people have been hospitalized throughout the entirety of this, and of the 4,490 total positive confirmed cases, that is just 18.3%. So only 18.3% of the people who have been confirmed positive have been hospitalized. And this, if you were following the Act Now website, you know which website I'm talking about. I'm trying not to mention that word. If you were following that Act Now, why? Because it's been wrong every time. Oklahoma did not run out of hospital beds. Bryan County did not run out of hospital beds. And we were told, if you don't make radical adjustments by March 28th, then Oklahoma's going to overflow. Even New York did not run out of hospital beds. There was the Comfort or the Mercy, whichever one of those battleships that was there that was prepared. New York did not run out of hospital beds. They had a rough time. Oklahoma did not run out of hospital beds. So if you were following the actnow.com or .org or whatever website that was, okay, don't own up to it. It's fine. I wouldn't own up to it. The good news is the country around us really low too. Yeah, they really are too. The counties around us are really low too, no doubt. We know the numbers are growing a little bit in Grayson County. We heard from Jancy Shelburne last night. Fantastic job she did as well. The numbers are growing there some too. All right. We have talked about, by the way, Brian Cooper won the first of these. We're giving away a second one next week. He knew 3 of the fallacies of logic. Let's get one more in tonight because there's kind of a funny one next week I want to throw out. False equivalence, we've talked about that. Ad hoc, these are things that the national media, yeah, I know, and I read it wrong. I'm sorry, Jamie. Counties around us. These are things that the national media is throwing at us with the idea that we don't understand what an argument is. And it's not just Oklahomans. It's not just Texans. It is flyover country in general. It is pretty much, anything that's not the media elite, that they believe you're just going to buy anything that they have to say. It's why they were so amazingly wound up when the president had press conferences that you could watch the entirety of his press conference and you knew what he said and you knew what he didn't say. And you knew the questions that were being asked to try to get him to say one thing or another so you could get a sound bite out of it and then run that over and over and over and over again, probably out of context. And we're not buying into it anymore. We know better. We've known better for a long time. Now we had a chance to actually get to see it. I'd like to get to see a lot more of those things. So here are some fallacies of logic that the national media doesn't believe that you understand. Otherwise, they'd give more of a realistic argument, and in some cases, they'd own up to the fact that they just don't have an argument, period. False equivalence, trying to take two different things that have just one thing in common and equivocating the two as that everything's just exactly the same because they had one thing in common. Doesn't work that way. We talked about ad hominem, where you attack a person's character as opposed to attacking their argument, generally when you don't have an argument. We talked about the circular argument, saying that this person says this is right because this person said this is right, and it just goes back and forth. We talked about post hoc, ergo propter hoc. After this, therefore, because of this. Just because one thing happened and another thing happened after the first thing doesn't mean that the first thing caused the second thing. It's a fallacy of logic. We talked about ad populum, appealing to the positive concepts. Hey, everyone's doing it, must be right. Everyone's doing it. It's okay, Jamie. Everyone's doing it, must be right. By the way, I don't want to go so far as to say that there are people lying even though, but I'm not going to say that. But some of the statistics that are out there try to build on the emotional appeal, positively or negatively. There are things that are happening, for instance, a headline. And again, whether you're for the president, against the president, this is irrelevant. Okay, it's just a headline. President decides to disband coronavirus team, even though number of cases is growing. You know what? If the number of cases grew by 1 in a 24-hour period or even a 48-hour period, you could still use that headline. The number of cases, even in the state of New York, is not growing anymore per day. It's still growing, but the amount per day is getting to be a lesser number. But you can say what you want to at that point. Well, and it's the popular idea. Well, everybody believes this. Don't you know? Everybody believes this. Everybody thinks this way. Everybody knows that. See, that's ad populum. Appealing to the popular decision. And the final one we talked about, and this one's a big one. It's the false dilemma. It's the either or. You can have this or you can have that. But those are the only two options that you have. So either we can keep everyone in lockdown and hope that it goes away and hope that we can contain this thing and hope that nobody else dies, which, happens anyway. Or we can open up the country and open everything up back up, no restrictions, everything. People go lick shopping cart baskets, high five each other in the streets, and then 120,000 more people will die. It's either or. You have just this or just this. And that's a false dilemma. There are so many different things in the middle and actually on either side. Speaking of in the middle, you want to talk about political parties and ideas. Most people really are in the middle. Most people aren't as radical as some of the Republicans that you might see. Most people aren't as radical as some of the Democrats you might see on a national scale. Most people are pretty much in the middle. Jamie, can you read out of the NIV? Yes, I think you can read out of the NIV. Listen, I still read King James because I grew up with it. So I do have a King James Bible, but I love this right here is so cool. By the way, there's the lovely Mrs. Patriot. This is so cool because it gives me different translations and I can get to it pretty quickly. And I like having this there. I had one of those parallel Bibles when I was in high school and college that had 4 different translations in it. As I was, getting in different things in ministry, those Bibles are huge. Having 4 different translations in one Bible, I mean, you're carrying around a tome. Okay, so it's nice to be able to carry this baby around and get as many translations. So yes, I believe you can read out of the NIV. Are you asking me personally to read out of the NIV right now? I don't know if I have anything. Sunday's tomorrow. We've been having Bible study Sunday. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk over you guys. I apologize. We'll get to one more. I'll tell you what, we need to wrap up anyway. Sunday is tomorrow. We've been having family Bible study on Sunday mornings because we haven't been able to, go meet in a house of worship, go to church. And so I've enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed speaking on Sunday mornings. Of course, my family, speaking to the 4 other people in the house, it's a little bit different crowd, and I definitely tone it down. But it's also pretty cool to get to have some interaction with the 3 teenagers talking about the Bible. So that's kind of been our Sunday thing. Anyway, here's one more. Let's get to one more. Hasty generalization. That is another fallacy of logic. Hasty generalization. And it is exactly what you might think it would be. And I've had this happen in class before as a teacher, especially when I was teaching journalism. And the last year I taught journalism, I had a bunch of freshmen. I don't think freshmen should be in journalism. I think you should have at least a year of high school English under your belt before you get in a journalism class. I just do. But I had a lot of freshmen in that last year that I taught it. And I mean, the first day of class, first off, the first day of class is what it is. You throw out a lot of things. If you give homework, dear God, you must be the devil incarnate. But if you don't go as hard and strong on that first day and you make it a little easier on them, then sometimes they get bored. And that was something I'd heard before. Well, I can already tell after one day of this class, it's going to be boring. Okay, that's a fallacy of logic. It's a hasty generalization. You got this much information and ran with it. Lots of journalists do that, by the way. Get this much information, but because they want to be first with the story, I'd rather be right with the story. Now, if I can be right and first, oh yeah, you better believe that's what I'd like to be. I'd like to be right and I'd like to be first. But if I had to choose, if it's an either or situation and I had to choose, I'm definitely going to choose right as opposed to first. But that is a hasty generalization. It's when you get just a little bit of information, already draw your conclusion, boom, it's over. I already tell I'm not going to like this class. It's boring. It's going to be boring. I can tell after one day. No, you can't. And I talk a lot longer than that. So anyway, all right. There is our fallacy of logic for the day, and we are wrapping up week number 8, episode number 47. We're going to hit 50 episodes next week, and I have some really cool people that are going to come on the show. I know of 3 right now that are pretty close to locked in, so I think you're going to enjoy them. And people with small businesses around here, people with mid-sized businesses around here. I think the key, forget small, mid-size, people with local businesses. We're going to get to talk to folks with local businesses. So yeah, right makes for a good night's sleep. You better believe it. When you know what you've done is right, you sleep a lot better than when you know that you didn't do the right thing. I haven't done that very often, but there are a couple times I've and it wasn't on purpose. I don't think I've ever gone out and tried to do the wrong thing knowing it was the wrong thing. There have been times I've gone out, done something, realized it was wrong later and went, oh my goodness. And those things will keep you up. Yeah, you're exactly right. So wrapping up week number 8, shout out to, I've already talked about our sponsors tonight. Thank you for watching. Want to give special thanks to Stephanie Swicker for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate her. Listen, you need to stop by UE Gifts. Don't tonight. It's too late for Mother's Day. But you may have already stopped by there and gotten a Mother's Day gift. Maybe you did. Maybe you did. Maybe I did. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, thanks to Stephanie for being on the show with me tonight. And again, thank you to all of you. I didn't realize, I don't know, Brian, if you're still on, I know Brian stopped by earlier. So Brian, if you're still on tonight, I didn't realize that I was blowing up your notifications on Facebook, because what I try to do, I want to come back and I wanted to let everyone know that I saw their comments, and sometimes I can't always read a comment on the air. So I try to go back and like all your comments. So if you're still listening tonight, the folks, by the way, never did take that off. If you're still listening tonight, I may back off liking everybody's comments because I didn't realize I was blowing up everybody's notifications. I like your comments. I go back and read every single one of them, and I am so thankful for everybody stopping by and for leaving notes and different things like that, and being part of the conversation. And that's what makes it a better evening, a better show. There you are, Brian. It's all good. Head to me. Hey, it's all right to make fun of me. That's fine. I just wanted you to know I saw that, and I thought that was incredibly cool. Brian was making note of the fact that I was blowing up his notifications, and my heart was right. There you go. My heart was right. So that's it. All right. For all you folks tonight, Brian, I do need to get in contact with you this week because I need to, you're the man. We'll give one of these away next week. Jamie, Robert, thanks for watching all the time. And for everyone else who is watching now and who has watched throughout the rest of the night and the rest of the week, thank you. It's been a fun week. Oh, let me put this one up there just in case Buddy happens to be watching. Buddy, thanks for the love. Durant is my home. Durant is my family. That's from Buddy and Stephanie on the show tonight. So good night. Fantastic night. And we will see you on Monday. 9 o'clock is still the start time to this point, and we're just going to have some fun. All right. Be wise. Be wise. Our restrictions are being lifted. I believe doesn't matter. I believe our restrictions are being lifted. Be wise. Use discretion, but do not walk in fear. And always carry a pen around so you can point at the camera. Have a great Sunday. Go to church if you can. If not, find some way to just talk about Jesus with your family. Enjoy the time. Happy Mother's Day to all of you all. I appreciate you all. Have a great night.